Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, ladies and motherfucking gentlemen. We are back. We are back. Um, Gotta clean the popcorn off my face, but it's a late night sneaker talk show with your boy Landon Strange here, and even though it's a real late night and the time change has affected a lot of us, that doesn't mean the show's gonna stop. So I decided to just stick to the shoes today. There are a bunch of shoes, a bunch of sneaker news that have came out within the last few hours. Not even the last few hours, the last couple of days alone, not to just a few hours that made a difference in, picking what I'm gonna do for this channel. Now I will admit I did miss the sneaker event. My body said you weren't going to that. Even though it was a big rodeo event, and especially if you're in Houston, Texas, and you're here for the rodeo, please act civil. Just because this is something y'all not used to, I mean, don't mean you got to act out, all right? Please make sure to enjoy the rodeo and please be safe while doing so as well because, safety is important and you got to make sure that you're safe out here because you never know. You never truly know who's going to be out there watching or who's going to be out there enjoying the show and the festivities. So please be safe while you're at the rodeo. And if you're visiting and you have, a license, please don't think that your license, in the city will, allow you to think you're a great driver. No, no, no. Houston, Houston prepares you for anything. Houston is not for the weak when it comes to driving. So just make sure if you're out here in the city, be safe, be smart, and don't be a dummy, please, for the love of God. With that being said, there it's day 9 of the stream, and I will admit, I like there be days I just truly do not want to do it because I'm really trying to recover and get ready back for the work week. But while handling so many other businesses and so many other tasks, I gotta say I might as well get it done right because I'm not doing shorts. I can't right now. Like mentally, I could not do it. So hopefully, even with the shoes that are coming out or that have already came out, I'm gonna like I said, I'm in the process of chopping up the sneaker parts of the episodes into shorts, so that way we'll have something to watch. So that way, at least shorts will be making some kind of return. But with that being said, let's get started, shall we? Now we have the first sneaker, ladies and gentlemen. Now the Whitaker Group and Adidas launched the Do Not Duplicate series. This series is inspired by the Houston Rodeo with features from the Handball Special, the BW Armies, and the ID Frame 50s, all in cowboy theme. And I'm not gonna lie, if I had to choose a pair, I mean the bottom snakeskin ones would be nice. They're pretty cool. The white is subtle, but I'm talking about that top pair, that brown, that horse, that print with the brown, and then the black with the studs on it. I think those are the two pairs that are really not gonna just sit in the shelves. Those are gonna be the ones that sell out truly. And that's my personal take on it because it's a nice collection. It's nothing too shabby. At least I'm starting off the episode with something Adidas. Like, give me credit where credit is due. Like, y'all know me. Excuse me. I try to start the channel and be fair as possible and making sure that, the channel, or at least the shoes that we're starting off with on the channel, is not just all, Nikes and Adidas, I mean, not just Nikes by itself. But with that being said, these are still not a bad shoe. I mean, like I said, the snakeskin on the bottom ones is nice. The white ones are not bad. It's the top two that's gonna be the ones, and I think that black with the stud with the print on it is very out as well. Like it stands out. Like the brown pair with the cowhide, it looks nice. But even though that snakeskin is nice, but that's a personal take. So if you do end up getting these, let me know which one is your favorite pair because they're not a bad shoe. They're not. Now, I I'm doing this next sneaker. Excuse me. Like I'm dealing with horrible allergies as well, so please excuse that as well. Give me 1 second. I got y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all. Ooh wee. Especially adjusting to doing vertical is very different. But all right. Now, first Nike shoe of the night is the Air Max 90 Total 90 Lasers, which is based off of the cleats, if I'm not mistaken, that Wayne Rooney wore. And I seen another pair of Air Max 90s that is based off of cleats, soccer cleats, or or boots in that pragmatic context that are actually fire. I don't know what it is, but now they're re-releasing these designs and actually making a name for themselves. It's like, okay, like even then, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with something as well right now. I don't. It's like when you try to get a moment of peace and you try to enjoy the little breathing room that you do get, something happens. So I'm not gonna just say what it is, but just know that when it comes to these sneakers, I'm not gonna lie. That yellow is bright, but the black design, like the black, oh my god, the detail on the black on the inside, like makes it looks like it's very unique in itself. And even with the cross pattern and the 90 on the top, this is a different take. I'm saying this as somebody who's a fashion person that actually likes sneakers. Like the black is nice. Like the black is what stands out on the shoe. Don't get me wrong. The yellow is the point of the shoe that everybody's gonna want to get, and everybody that's gonna want to be happy and see. But let's be real. If we talking about a straight sneaker that's just straight fire, and the designs overtakes the sneaker, then let's be real. It's the yellow joints. Like the yellow joints, low key might be some sleepers on that end. But like I said, everybody has their own opinions when it comes to these. Everybody has their own opinions when it comes to certain shoes, and so I want to get into the details of just making sure that we um not exclude any shoes. And I think that's the most important thing when it's coming to like details and sneaker design. You want to make sure that you don't exclude any shoes. So the next shoe, which is coming up really quickly, I'm probably gonna do the black pair first. I don't want to do the I'm gonna do the black pair first, and that way I can explain it in details that I think people will enjoy more than you think. Now, these are the Nioi Ki Kimona Puma Speed Cat Rose collection, and I'm not gonna lie for the ladies. I think the black ones, like it's rose. I want to say it's either a wax material or like a plastic material covered roses, like roses all over the shoe, and basically shoes is black. Like the black ones don't look bad at all, and I'm not taking it away from that. Like I think the black ones look nice, and they're gonna be the plain ones. They're gonna be ones that everyone go for. But if you see the red pair and like the red pair, I think in all honesty are the pair that's gonna stand out because it's white with the red laces. And if they give you a pair of white laces, then I think that might make it a much more dangerous shoe. I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna be able to get it. I think this is gonna be a women's release. There's nothing too wrong with that. I don't think it's a bad shoe. Needless to say, I think this shoe is going to be very, very successful on the context of fashion, but I don't think that it's going to be for everyone. And I don't think everyone is going to go want for this shoe. I think more or less this shoe has its own fan base, and I think even then, the fan base of the sneaker will actually like it more. And there we go. I'm trying to fix the camera, but even then, just looking at that sneaker looks pretty cool. But let's look at the next sneaker. We don't want to hold up just one particular sneaker because people like it in this detailed design. Like if I had to choose between the red and the black pair, I'm probably gonna go with the black pair because it's plain. But I can see a lot of ladies probably going for that red and white pair, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think even then, um, I think even then you have to accept the fact that this might be a legit shoe that women will actually like. So The next thing I want to talk about is people have been saying Vans really did, go all out this year. And I'm not gonna lie, like just looking at the pairs that came out so far this year, and we're only in the third month of the year, is crazy work. Like I heard the Satoshi Nakamoto's had a wild release in LA alone for All Star Weekend. Not alone, you get the very different prints that I've already talked about during all the shorts. It's like fans is really trying to make things happen. And I think even then with this take, and y'all can um, take however you want. But I'm gonna say this: Vans is ever since they brought SZA onto the fold, I think Vans has been trying to get back out there. And I haven't seen, and I'm gonna be honest, another take. I haven't seen Vans with this much energy and creating this within a short sprint since they had Tyler. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Vans have always been creative. I'm not saying they haven't, and do not take that out of the context of what I'm saying. I'm saying with the short sprint that they've had, and wondering how does the short sprint transitions from one artist to another that's joining the brand itself. Vans will always be known as the affordable shoes that people can skate in, that are comfortable, and that people will appreciate for what they are. But I'm saying within the 2 to 3 month sprint, these joints right here, bruh, and you really haven't seen a run like that with Vans since Tyler. Like when you thinking about celebrity pool, that's just a hot take I wanted to bring up. I don't know if y'all gonna agree with it or not. That's fair. I mean, you gotta think. What is that? 4, 7, 12 shoes. 12 different shoes within this year alone, and each one of them have been very, very solid. Like there's really genuinely no complaints about any of the shoes that have came out this year. And I think even then, you have to appreciate it for what it is. It's a great run by Vans. Like let it be known that this is a solid run. That's all I'm saying. Do not take credit away from the release. I'm just saying, look at the releases, look how spread out they've been, and look how hard people have been going for these releases. Then you'll see my point and be like, okay, I get it. I may not like to admit it, but I get it. Like so many different colorways. But I digress. I digress. I don't want to stick on the topic too long. Um, I just wanted to point that out, and I thought that was very interesting within itself. Now, let me go to the next sneaker. Hold on. I've already talked about the sneaker on the shorts. If you know, you know. And if you're excited like I am, then you understand why I'm talking about this sneaker. Now, I'm already said I'm retired. And I've already said I'm really just going for the Dr. Dooms. I'm not going to lie. These would be a close constellation second to me, just on the nuance of new sneaker compared to historic sneaker. Like, yes, I want the Dr. Doom foam posits. But now you're telling me that Mummy Duck will be released holiday 2026 in competition. Like it's already bad enough. We've had multiple phone posit releases that have actually been fired in the last 2 years. This year is going into the year 3 that they have been a solid run of phone posits. But for this one to be a Mummy Duck release, that the white ones that they wore during the whiteout game against Penn State, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, because that was Halloween and I was out. Needless to say, chef's kiss. But now you're asking for more. And I think this is very, very, very interesting of a take. And that's just in my opinion. Now, am I gonna try to go for these? Yes. I know they're gonna probably be 250 to 300. Let's just be real. These are not gonna be a cheap sneaker. And I think even then you have to respect the fact, like, okay, we know it's not gonna be a cheap sneaker. Is it gonna be a limited run? If it's gonna be a limited run, then fuck. But if it's not a limited run, then you take it as is. And you're more appreciative of the fact that even though it's not a that if it's a limited run, okay, you had a chance to win and lose and you lost the sneaker. Okay. But if it's not a limited run, oh Lord. Oh Lord. They hit you with another one, because this one right here would have probably been the one that actually made a difference for people and actually got to see in the moment of actually, running the sneaker and running it and making sure that it runs smoothly. That's just my take. I think more than ever, people's takes upon sneakers depend on their taste, and this one might be a hit for me, but it might not be a hit for somebody else. So I leave it be. Like if you're gonna rock with the sneaker, rock with it. If not, let me know why in the comments because that's also a very interesting take. I want to know people's opinions. I think that's more important than just talking about sneakers. I want to know your opinion. I want to know why you like or dislike a shoe because I can give you my reasons. But I'm just a commentator. I'm just somebody who actually just does this just for the love of the game. Like I think honestly and truthfully, when it comes to like real sneakerheads and real sneaker culture, you gotta appreciate what the art is, and you gotta appreciate the moments that make you realize that you are a sneakerhead. All right, all right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Whitaker groups releasing the New Balance 890s black and yellow March 12th. And I'm not gonna lie, with the Whitaker group already having a pair of friggin' Adidas, friggin' pair of Nikes, and now a pair of New Balances, then you will see when I started my other video for the beginning of this series that when I say that we might be starting on the verge of burnout fatigue. I mean collab fatigue, collab burnout. Then you see my point because don't get me wrong, like the collaboration shoes are nice. I'm not taking away from the sneaker itself. It's just we see more collabs and less original sneakers. And I think I'm not saying the shoe's a bad shoe. And I'm not, please don't think of it, me actually saying the sneaker's a bad sneaker because it's not. What I'm saying is, I would get them because of the black and yellow. I mean, a global release on March 20th, that's not bad either. The Azure feature, they're for 180. See, not a bad price for a bad sneaker at 180. The price value is not bad. But I'm saying, and I think this is important, more than anything, I think now we see the sneaker for what it is. And we see the price, we see the value, we see everything for what it is. But when you really sit there and think about it, like, okay. And I think even now, it's just like, okay, what other collaborations are going to come out and what other collaborations are going to steal the thunder and steal the joy from actually us getting to see good sneakers. I mean, you can make that argument and it's a valid argument. It's a valid argument. But at the end of the day, it's a solid sneaker and I think people are gonna either get it or not. And like I said, if you are tired of seeing collabs like me, well, not even just tired of seeing collabs, tired of seeing the same companies collab, and they're basically rehashing the shoes, rehashing different shoes. But at least this one is a sneaker they haven't really just took over yet, so it's kind of a good thing. I may, like I said, I'm not perfect, and a lot of collabs are nice. I'm not saying they're not nice. That's never the point of the argument. The point I wanted to make is the simplicity of the fact like we've seen countless and countless and countless and countless repetitive collabs back to back to back, and I think now people are either gonna love it or hate it. It's just something that you see in the culture. You're either gonna hate the collab, and you're gonna just accept it. You're gonna accept what you can for what it is. Not saying it's a bad thing. It could always be better, but you never know. All right, next sneaker. All right, and we are already in our first 20 minutes in. All right, these are the AJ, the Air Jordan 40 28s. And this is black and barely volt. I'm not gonna lie. It first of all, 40 has been on a run. 40 has been on a creative run to the point that you realize that you've seen Jordans that you have not seen in years or recent, numbers that people don't respect because he didn't wear them in the game, which is an argument that if you're a real sneakerhead, you know this argument, you've heard this argument, you can either validate this argument or not. It is a hot take, but there are some retro. There not a retro. See, there are some numbers that we will never see again because he will never win the game. And even then, it's like, okay, you won't see him in the game, fine. But for a 28th, for the 28th to have the zipper and then make a comeback into the 40s, like I just showed you one photo, it fully zips up. That's the sleeper. Like they're not gonna retro 28, but you give me the full treatment with the 40, especially after the last couple 40s. Yeah, I think more than ever now, people are gonna either love or hate the sneaker, but it's gonna sell out. Let's just be real. I have yet to see an Air Jordan 40 collab not sell out, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like I've put it in my comments. There are sneakers that people have came out that I gotta put. There are sneakers that have come out that people can either say, yeah, we either hitting on it or we're not. No, they're hitting on it. Let's just be real. They're gonna hit on it. What the fuck? Oh, Virginia. Oh, I'm sorry, Arlington. March 5th through the 7th, Virginia for BlurCon 2027. I was trying to make it this year. Your boy didn't make it. Your boy didn't make it. They didn't want me to make it, and I respect it. I respect the hustle. I respect the grand hustle. It is what it is. I tried my best, and came up short yet again. Like, please understand, life do be life, and especially in this economy, because even now more than ever, we cannot let up. All right. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking here, trying to find another good sneaker for y'all because there are so many, so many sneakers and so much sneaker news that have dropped. And I think I'll go with this one next. I think after Jordan, you gotta go, and I would go Kobe, but I'm gonna save Kobe for later. Um, I really do want to talk about these. I genuinely do. Oh Lord. Ugh. And I'm still recovering. Oh good Lord. Let's see. Went through a whole fast just to be delusional for half a day. All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have the official photo of LeBron in the NXXT Gen or Next Gen by Juju Watkins, and this is metallic silver. It has the rose on the inside with red stitching. It has the more soft comfort tan matte. Like I want to say it's linen, but I can't tell from the photo. But it's soft on the inside. But then you got the metallic silver, like it's two different kind of silvers, and then two different kind of grays. The silver on the Nike check, and even the silver on the bottom. And I think even then with the holes on the side and the details of the sneaker, even with the red on the little bit of the tongue with the gray laces, I think this is more something, not even a comfort shoe, but I think it's more or less for the superstar from USC. I think this is going to be a great release for her. Yeah, I mean, it's not her personal individual shoe, but it's something more or less of how Angel Reese basically did the Engine 8 and then had her own shoe. I think this is good for Juju because she can have her own LeBron gens and then have her own shoe once she comes into the league. I think that's actually a good marketing tactic. But if the shoe sells out, the shoe sells out. Now because oh and I do want to answer. I might have to do that now. Let me do that now because I the take on this sneaker is it's not her first shoe. Um, I think more than ever, this sneaker here will stand out because it's her first release. But that's okay. That's okay. And even then, I want to say that good job, Juju, for getting your first shoe. I think the shoe would actually do numbers in the right places. And I think even then, once you get your own personal release, that ooh, I think once you get your own personal release, I think even more or less it will be better for you. Now, like I said, I normally don't like to do late night. I normally would like to do late night sneaker talk show very late. Just to change the momentum of how I do my shorts. But I haven't had time to really cut my shorts, so I do want to apologize for that as well. I think the more you sit back and think about certain sneakers and how they're dropping, I think now is the time that you get to appreciate it. Especially, oh, excuse me. Especially, we're gonna switch the tempo for a little bit and go to another brand. I think changing the brand for this moment probably be better off. Now, let's see. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Adidas Dame X Beige, and they're dropping on March 14th for $90. A $90 sneaker that's probably gonna be like 110 in the state of Texas after taxes. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying oh yeah, he's looking only out for expensive sneakers. No, I'm looking out for all fair prices. Let's keep it real. And even more and less now, I'm not gonna deny the fact that these sneakers here, um, even though they're cheap and affordable, and I'm saying cheap in the aspect of like $90, that's really a steal. I think more or less now you gotta appreciate the simple fact that yeah, even in this economy, you have to find an outlet for actually fair sneaker prices or even fair. Try to find something fair in the market value, and $90 is affordable. That's the one thing that you really don't want to slip up on. They're affordable. You can't go wrong with them, and I think even now more than ever, you have to actually be okay with wearing affordable sneakers because the market is crazy. If your sneakers ain't retroed or ain't if you don't have the money to afford the retros or the high joints, find something that you like and appreciate and go with it. And with that being said, I think even with these sneakers being $90, if you like them, if you rock with them, then get them. Only you can judge you for what you buy, and at the end of the day, I think these are something that if people buy them and see more of the Dame X's or even this colorway, which is beige, you can wear that with a whole khaki fit, cuz, and I'll be honest with you, that sucker would be nice. But needless to say, that's not everybody else's taste. That's just my vision on the sneaker. All right, let's get the next sneaker out. All right, here we go. I'm gonna make sure it gets seen correctly. Now I showed you the total 90 Air Max 90s, but they also have a pair of Hypervenom Air Max 90s, and these are for the. And I didn't know both of these were for the World Cup till just now, but the Hypervenom. If you remember the cleats that Neymar Jr. wear, and ironically, I'm wearing a PSG Neymar shirt. Ironically, before even the news came out that these were out. These are gonna be 150. They're dropping May 21st, 2026. Oh damn, that's the same day my line brother get married. Shout out to JJ. Congrats on the wedding. Needless to say, these black and orange hypervenoms, chef's kiss, chef's motherfucking kiss. Like I even have a pair of hypervenom boots. People call them cleats. I called them cleats earlier by accident, but I meant to say boots. In my closet right now, I think the joints are solid. I think the joints are actually, going to be something of appreciation. But people don't know how to appreciate good things. That's just my take. I said what I said. But needless to say, I think this sneaker is going to do numbers. I think that this sneaker, if it doesn't sell and end up in an outlet, I will be probably the first ones to get them. All right. Now we have reached our first 30 minutes in, and I do want to appreciate everyone who's tuned in, like, comment, subscribe, check out the channel, and all that good stuff because I have not done shorts like that, and I need to. But the show must go on, and when the show goes on, that's when you know it's on. Let's see. Oh dang, I didn't save them. Let me do this one. And like I said, I don't like doing back to back Nike shoes, but I'll do it for the sake of the argument. Like back to back Nikes it's boring. But when you see mostly Nike news, it's kind of like, okay, damn, they got a point there. Yeah, you got to work with what you got. And I'm sorry that I'm doing what I can. And even then, just having a sneaker run that you got to appreciate. So, um, this I didn't see coming as well. The Nike GT Cut 4 30th anniversary for the WNBA colorway. Now, I from Houston, and we used to have the comments. If you from Houston or you from Texas, and you know about the comments, but and they did a shoe for them, the dunks, maybe I think a year or two ago. But the GT Cut 30th anniversary for the WNBA, I'm not gonna lie, they a sleeper. Y'all gonna hate me for saying that. These are gonna be a sleeper. Y'all really gonna hate me for saying these. I'm warning you now. They are sleeper joints. If you don't like them, tell me why. Matter of fact, I don't think that photo does it justice. And that's just the back. The back already was a master class within itself. Let me get the front. Let me get the front of the shoe. The front of the shoe and the side, you get the blue with the print and the white. You get the red Nike check on the inside, and you get the white Nike check inside the shoe. The red stitching on the top, on the side as well for all three colors of the WNBA. And I think even then, more than ever, you have to just appreciate the fact, like, they came with it. Yeah, they had to come with it. It's the 30th anniversary. You see how people are going hard for Pokemon right now in this 30th anniversary? Think about the WNBA. You gotta go hard at this point. It's either go hard or go home, and you don't want them to go home. I'm being honest with you. You want them. You want to appreciate the releases that are coming. You want to appreciate everything that's happening when it comes to like certain releases, and I think the WNBA definitely deserves its credit, even with this release. Ooh, 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 ooh! Wait a minute. Oh, I just saw something that caught my eye. And I normally don't do this on a live, episode, but for something to catch my eye like this, I think it's stunning. I don't think I did the sneaker yet. So let's talk about it. Let me get back to there we go. Right here. Right here. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna try to fix it size wise. There we go. Now, oh wait, it was already perfect. It was already perfect in every detail. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I literally just seen the sneaker, and I literally just found it right in the middle of looking it up for another sneaker. But with that being said, I think even more now, we have to take the time to appreciate the sneakers we do find, because this is the Atmos Pink New Balance 204L Cowgirl pack. I think this is more for the ladies, and even then, the red, the maroon and pink with the cream is probably the killers right there. I expect to see those more than the black or white with the print. In my opinion, like, don't get me wrong, the black and white, like, cookies and cream, and that's cool and everything. But that maroon, that red, and that pink with the cream on it, I think those might be the better shoe. I know y'all gonna be in the comments saying like, nah, nah, this ain't the better shoe. I'm telling y'all, like, I think this might be the better shoe out of the two, only because of the simple fact that people are gonna sleep on them, and when people sleep on certain sneakers, you have to. I think people don't understand that when people sleep on certain sneakers, it gives people the intention or the intent that these are probably gonna sit on the wayside. Not necessarily. I think more or less now. I think that people will appreciate the sneaker more and more as time progresses, especially now in the midst of radio season. Now, like I said, I personally try to hold out as long as I can for certain sneaker collabs, certain sneaker ideas, and I'm gonna be the first to say it. I hate when motherfuckers really say Houston ain't got no culture, but then really look at people taking what we've done years ago and basically reinventing it and making their own. And the perfect example is this right here. Lil Yachty Nike Air Force One mid Concrete Boys is expected to release this holiday. Now, if you saw him at All Star Weekend wearing the Concrete Boy version of the 2000 All Star Air Force Ones that were in Houston, by the way, point made. You really just took that same sneaker as of right now, made it black, crystal, metallic silver, clear, and optic yellow, and basically took it and made your own sneaker out of a Houston colorway, an All Star Houston colorway. I'm just saying, motherfuckers like to say Houston ain't got no culture, but yeah, y'all are here invading the goddamn city. Get the fuck out. And that's just me. And I'm saying that as somebody who is truly like to travel and loves to be out of the city more than in the city. And with everybody moving here, it's like, come on now, can we have something left for ourselves? If y'all really love Houston so much, make Texas blue, but they don't want to do that. Why are they gonna vote in the wrong person? They gonna vote in somebody that doesn't attend with the skin folk. But back on the tangent of the sneakers, I hope these sneakers do well. I do. I'm gonna be nice, and hopefully they do well. Hopefully, people actually like them for what they are and not what he's trying to portray them as. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. I'm being genuine, I'm being fair, and I'm being nice, which is a rarity. All right. Action Bronson teases New Balance, another New Balance collab colorway. Now I will admit, I did say we're getting burnt collab fatigue, but at least Bronson, I will give him his credit. At least maybe once or twice a year. It's not like every other. It's not like every 5 or 6 shoes. It's like you might get a Bronson collab once every year or twice a year at most. And even then, he at least previews the shoe beforehand so you can get an honest opinion on what you're gonna think about the sneaker. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna either love it or hate it. But you're gonna be fair about it, especially if you see it on foot first, and then you get it later and be like, okay, nah, these joints are very nice. I can rock with these. These are pretty nice, especially these black New Balances with the orange in. I'm not gonna lie, black and silver New Balance with the orange in, the Bible cloth on the tongue. I mean, you could take it as is. I think people are gonna like these a lot more than I'm gonna give them credit for once we get more detail. And that's the thing. We're in an era where we have to really just wait for the details of a lot of sneakers to come out. And it's not. Let me rephrase what I'm about to say. It's nothing wrong with finding out about certain sneakers when they come out and the details of when they come out and how they come out. It's nothing wrong with that. My problem is that you drop a bunch of collabs out of freaking nowhere and expect for us to be excited about them when in detail you're just dropping collabs for the sake of being money hungry and not loving the art of the sneaker. Well, I don't think Bronson is doing that, and that's one of the rare takes I will say because, like I said earlier, you might get one or two sneakers a year, but at least I want to say what was it? I want to say if I feel like it was last year, like middle of last year, when they had Bronson did a drop and basically re-released a lot of the sneakers that came out, but it was only in New York. Yes, I was mad it was only in New York, but I'm glad he re-released a lot of the sneakers. I think something like that is understandable. But like when you see a lot of fashion houses or fashion brands, releasing sneakers back to back to back for the culture and they be too high price for anyone to actually get and enjoy, then it's like, What can you do? Okay. Mm, I'll do this shoe. I'll do the sneaker only on the principle. Only for principle, never for um an outtake, and never for a crazy take. Ugh. Now, I will admit, reaching the 40-minute mark has been very interesting, and I'm appreciative of everyone who's watched the show. Like I said, doing this, and I'm gonna have to cut up all the clips, and then make shorts out of them, and then just go from there. It's like, okay, cool. You get what you get. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. I'm doing the best I can. One man holding it down. Shout out to all 2,000 and something subs. I really do appreciate y'all for checking on the channel. And even though I haven't done shorts, y'all are still staying loyal to the channel and hopefully checking out all the other content as well. I can only wish for the best. All right. With that being said, we have the Nike Mind 2002 sale. And I guess it's an actual sneaker instead of a slip on. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. The Mind 001 was a very interesting shoe, and all reviews of comfortability is one thing. But you have a very comfortable shoe like this as a actual sneaker, and I think it's something interesting. Now, the only reason I want to try this shoe is because I will hands down admit there has not been another Nike like that has been as comfortable as the Roche runs. That was a generational run. That is the sneaker I will hold to the fire. You bring back Roche's in this era and change the material, it's not gonna be the same sneaker. So what I'm saying is, please, do you hear me? Please, do you hear me? Please, if you're gonna do something with this sneaker right here, them mine 002, can we get a Roche collab with them, please, or at least a crossover sneaker, a Roche Mind, something like that. Like I'm going to be head asking ask for it because at this point, why not? I'm sorry, allergy season is a monster. Oh, I've been meaning to do these. I've been meaning to do these for a couple of days now. Oh my god. Let me get these out the way too. But needless to say, I think now more than ever we should be appreciative of what we're doing and the market value. And with the Mind 002s, I think now more than ever we should, embrace the sneaker. Oh my god. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Hopefully you're staying alive, chat. Hopefully, you're not dealing with all the chaos and the shenanigans that's going on. Hopefully you are taking care of yourselves mentally and all of that. Making sure that you get breaks when you definitely need them. Because if anybody can tell you that doesn't take breaks, I'm one of those people. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Hyper Boost Edge, the Adidas Hyper Boost Edge Pure Ruby that releases March 17th. Let me tell y'all something. I seen these last week. I was like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm seeing something that nobody else is seeing. Maybe I'm seeing a sneaker that is going to be comfortable and it's going to be a different take from the jellyfishes. Maybe so. I think with this sneaker releasing March 17th, and it's going to be a comfortable sneaker that I think we need to see more colorways before we can make a true judgment call. I think this sneaker is just setting up to be great and has the potential to be very very um interesting. But I want to see more. I want to see other colorways because I think this pure ruby is nice, and I think even now more than ever we do have to have an appreciation for certain sneakers and certain things that we can respect. I think now more than ever we are in a collab era where everybody wants to collab, and for sneakers it's okay, but collab fatigue is real. But this is not a sneaker that does that. But I do have a sneaker that kind of does, and I'm about to show you that now. If I can get the sizing right, because if you come to Houston and if you have allergies or allergic to a lot of things, then geez, that was a very big photo. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to readjust and resize everything, especially on vertical. It's a different game. Vertical is a way different game than horizontal. But yeah, we have a pair of fragment Converse is coming out. You can't tell me that collab fatigue ain't real. Like these joints are gonna look nice. These joints probably gonna be something astonishing. They're probably gonna be at least 200 to 210, and there's nothing wrong with that. My take on it is, Frag, you already got a book 2 coming out that got pushed back to the March 19th. Frag, you already had some other shoes that came out earlier this year. At this point, with the collaborations, like you gotta have, if you have a fragment closet at this point, I salute you, because keeping up with Frag in this timeline is kind of the hardest thing to do, especially with all the collabs that are coming out. I don't think the collabs are a bad thing. It's just how many collabs we get in a single time is what, excuse me, is the part that really just upsets me. Excuse me. I don't think even then people are unappreciative of it. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, can we breathe? Please, Nike, collabs. Can we freaking breathe? And I'm being petty. I'm saying Nike in the sense of Nike in the collab of freaking Nike in the collab sense of Converse. Okay. Okay, hold on, hold on. I'm announcing this the same time as we are all seeing it. We are all seeing this together. I promise you, we are genuinely all seeing this together for the first time live on the channel. This is one of those moments where you have to appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a teaser for the first look of the Kid Cudi Scott Mescudi collection with Off White, and I think the Kid Cudi collaboration with Off White in this modern era, at least it's Off White and not VAA. I think people should be excited for. This literally, and this first look literally dropped 36 minutes. So literally, while I was doing this live, we are getting to see this first look. Now he has a hoodie, and I like the hoodie with the hands, gripping each other. I would post it, but I ain't trying to get caught up. And with the Off White logo, but the sneakers, like if you actually like Off White sneakers, this might be the video for you, because I'm not gonna lie, these actually might be, solid. And I know they're gonna go for at least 350 and up. I already know. And since it's Kid Cudi, it might even go for 4 in this market. That's the scary part. I think people don't realize that this price could actually be very scary. And he got a particle beam jacket, Off White jacket that's nice. And that, which goes into my other video. My other tape. They are now, from what I've seen online the same day, they are now selling Off White hoodies at Costco. So if this is true, please let me know in the comments, because I really might end up getting that Costco membership to get some Off White stuff. Like, I like my Off White. I'm not gonna lie. And if it's affordable Off White, I'm not hating. That's like human. That's like Fear of God Essentials. If it's affordable, you gotta love it, man. Love it, man. But I'm thinking as this collab goes on, I hope that we get to see more looks into the Kid Cudi Off White collab, because I think now, I think even though I just said we were burnt from collab fatigue, this is not a collab that has been overdone. Like, I get that Nike took the VAA route for the Off White Air Jordan ones, and they don't even look similar to the Air Jordan 1 highs that we saw in 2018. Because I fell in love with the Alaskas from 2018. I don't know what this is, these other joints. So I'm saying that to say this. I hope we get to see more of Cudi's collab and see where he goes with this. I think that's important for me. I think that's genuinely the most important take I can make on this, sneaker market. Now, I will admit, I've been behind on a lot of things. I've been I wouldn't say procrastinating. I would say I just haven't had the time to fully divert into it. And I'm gonna give two things done at one time. And if I get flagged on the channel, then just know I did it for the greater good, because it's important to give credit where credit is due. All right, all right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jazz Chisholm, and he has been spotted wearing two Air Jordan PEs for Great Britain during the World Baseball Classic. The World Baseball Classic is in Houston, ladies and gentlemen. So we are already full. You understand me? But to come out here with an all red pair of baseball Air Jordan 11 cleats is solid. But not only did he do that, no, 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 no. He said he will outshine you and do it once again with a pair of white joints. Like, he got some white joints too, man. The white joints look nice as well. I mean, you represent Great Britain. You got to do what you got to do. I respect the hustle, but I didn't expect. I didn't expect for this to be. I didn't expect the World Baseball Classic to have fire. That's my take on it. I did not expect the World Baseball Classic to have fire, and even then, I didn't expect for it to be on a run. Like, I didn't think like he's done One Piece customs, and even then it's like, okay, I can respect the hustle, I can respect the gun. Now you got a pair of Jordan 11, two pairs of Jordan 11 for Great Britain. The British are coming. That's what you should have called them. But that's my head ass listen. I'm gonna shut up now before I get flagged again, because they'll find a way to flag a brother. All right. Hopefully this can be seen correctly. I feel like even with the sizing, it's not gonna be right. But Nike designer Frank Cook previews the first sight shadow, and says they better be in the top 10 sneaker of the year conversation. Let me tell y'all something. The sneaker is nice. I got to see them in person because it gives me more of a phone posit or the Flight Posit 3 in a different take. And I have to see them in person before we make that, justified argument. But I will say this. I don't know. Not because of him and the sneaker. I'm saying I don't know because of the fact that the sneaker of the year conversation already robbed Miss Aja Wilson, for her A1s. And you gave it to Brick by Brick. Jeff Staples even came out and said that Brick by Brick shouldn't have won sneaker of the year. I mean, I can honestly, the hype around the sneaker, yes, it's going to be a Jordan 4. Fair. I kind of can agree. Like, if you're talking about just all out sneaker of the year, I mean, you have a lot of contenders from last year. I'm not saying you don't, but you pretty much gave it to a shoe that has been around for 30 plus years and basically a different colorway. And I get Jeff Staples' point. I think that's the part that people don't see. It's like, I understand both perspectives. Yes, it won sneaker of the year because it had the hype around it. Everybody wanted that sneaker and it was going to be fire. Hands down. Understand. I respect it. Cool. I also can agree with the point that it's basically another colorway for the Air Jordan 4, a sneaker that's been out for 30 years. You can it's like you're either glass half full or glass half empty kind of person when it comes to that. And even then, it's a hot take. And I think it's a hot take that you're either going to want to take or not to take. That's how I truly feel. Like, I truly feel more out there when it comes to like certain things like that. And I feel like even then, even with certain sneakers, being the way they are, I think this marketplace is this time in the marketplace is weird. I think more than ever, and I don't understand it. All right. All right, we got a pair of Jordan 3s, and I got probably one more shoe to close you out for the night, even though the late night sneaker talk show has been on for an hour. And I do appreciate everyone who's tuned in and watched and, spent time with the show or even catching up on the shorts. That, yes, I'm trying to do this and light of shorts this month, just so I don't burn myself out again. I'm not doing once is already bad enough. Twice is a horrible feeling, and I don't want to do it again just so I can get content out there because it's not all about the content. It's about building the connection with the community and the sneakerheads to see what they like and what are they expecting to see. And so I think with that being said, I'm gonna do one Jordan 3 and I'm gonna do one more announcement, and I think that will wrap us up for the night. I think I hope you enjoyed the late night sneaker talk show, and I hope even then you'll come back and watch another episode of it. But ladies and gentlemen, the Air Jordan 3 Middle East are a regional exclusive dropping holiday 2026, and it is more of I wouldn't even say a burgundy. I would say a Merlot red or a Merlot or like a vineyard grape kind of color, because the inside of the tongue is like a light grape, like like even the back with even though this is the middle, it's called Middle East and it's a regional exclusive. All I can say is, like, I hope you get them. I know the market is going to be already unfriendly to a lot of people anyway, and these are regional exclusives, so they haven't even announced what region yet. And if they do announce a region, I'll definitely keep you updated for that as well. But I think now, I think now more than ever with this sneaker coming out the way it is, I think people are gonna either go for it or not, and that's okay. You can go for it. You can have your hot take on it. You can do what you can with it. I understand, but let me say this: no more than 250. Anything more than 250 is out complete blasphemy. Anything more than 250 for this sneaker is truly complete blasphemy, and I don't think even in this market you would want something like it's gonna be a regional exclusive. That means it's gonna be probably limited to 20,000 pairs. And even then, it's like, which region is getting it? It hasn't been announced yet. So hopefully we found out some more about the Middle East. And no pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended. But hopefully we find more about the Middle East Air Jordan 3s. And we'll go from there. Now, my last sneaker, I missed out on doing a lot of shoes for All-Star Weekend. I missed out going to All-Star Weekend. I personally think that All-Star in its own right. Also, this All-Star Weekend in its own right had a lot of weird combination of sneakers, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it was things that we weren't prepared for as a culture. And so I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, these Nike Kobe 3 Low Protro pink quartz, and basically most of the All-Star run that had something similar to the quartz, like there was two different shoes. It was the one that was the general release, and there was one that Jalen Brunson wore personally. And I'm not gonna lie, the All-Star Weekend releases for the Kobe 3s. Can I tell y'all something? Can I tell y'all something? I would have tried to find way to get a pair myself, and I was not prepared for that, because these were something that I didn't see coming. And I promise y'all, I think with this coming out March 13th, by the time this video is already out there, these are gonna probably sell out quicker than people give them credit for. And let me know in the comments if your honest opinion of this sneaker, because I really want to hear y'all's takes on it more than anything. And let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Landon Strange signing out from Late Night Sneaker Talk Show on the Sneakers and Stogies live channel. And we are praying that you come back, check us out, watch some more sneakers, enjoy the show and enjoy the vibe. We thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we hope that you are more than welcome to come back. Thank you for signing in. Thank you for signing out. Yeah.